Hey, it's Kayla, and where do I begin? So, a lot has been going on in the BL world, both good and bad. For me, some of the good has been the shows that are currently airing, my favorites being Bite Me, Don't Say No, and Peach of Time. But unfortunately, and despite trying to preserve my mental health, the bad has been nagging at me, and I feel like I just need to get it out. So today I'm going to be discussing a few things that BL fans need to stop doing. And of course it's not all, but I think it's enough to warrant a discussion. Let's get into it before my brain self-destructs. Starting off strong, BL fans need to stop speculating about the sexual orientation of actors and harassing their girlfriends for breaking the fantasy. This one has layers to it. So firstly, there's the aspect of privacy. I'm sure you wouldn't like somebody invading your private life and blasting your business all over the internet. So what gives you the right to do that to these actors you claim to love and support? Celebrities are human beings, and the more you dehumanize them, the less empathy you'll have for everybody who enters your life. I see this especially with journalists, and it boggles my mind because it goes directly against the code of ethics. Some of the ethical training to be a journalist includes seeking the truth and reporting it, minimizing harm to the subject, and being accountable and transparent. To put it simply, not asking the interviewee if they're gay. Whether you report news or entertainment, the same respect applies. And we also have to consider a scenario where an actor is gay and feels pressured to come out. Don't be fooled by the popularity of the BL genre. Most of these countries are still run by anti-LGBTQ+ legislation. The actor in question could lose their career. And yeah, it's discriminatory, but it's reality. Words hold so much power, which reminds me, stop describing actors as fruity if you're not part of the LGBTQ+ community. Here's why. So the word fruit has been used as a derogatory term for centuries, but its origin as a slur goes back to the 1800s. It was used to degrade gay men by referring to them as tender and effeminate like a woman, or a fruit. Along with fruit came the term fruitcake, which was used to categorize homosexuality as a mental disorder, since fruitcakes often contain nuts and fruits, basically putting the terms nutcase and fruit together. So do you see why I'm bothered by straight fans using this term that our community is trying so hard to reclaim? I know the majority of fans don't mean harm when they say, so-and-so is fruity. But just be conscious of the fact that many of these terms have a very malicious history in linguistics. Now, for harassing actors' girlfriends, that's just unacceptable fan behavior. I know there's a parasocial relationship that develops between BL pairings and their shippers, but if you're going out of your way to send death threats to people in their everyday lives, are you really a fan? Imagine how hurt they must feel when their own fan base doesn't support their pursuit of happiness. Doesn't want them to be anything outside of a figure to project onto. Joking about being Delulu is whatever, but seriously, get a grip. A year ago when Max announced that he and Mook were dating, I saw droves of people sending hate to Mook for breaking up Max Tool. Her Instagram was flooded with name-calling, TikToks were made slut-shaming her. I assure you, making an actor's life a living hell isn't going to make them date their on-screen boyfriend. It's going to make them distrust their own fan base. The message you send affects not just the receiver, but those around them. And at the end of the day, acting is acting. Another thing BL fans need to stop doing is pressuring actors to continue working with their old ships. This is mainly referencing the OGs, Chris Singto, Afghan, and Tainu. I'm going to elaborate by using my own experience as a baby. So Baby is the name of Afghan's fan base, and I considered myself a part of that after falling in love with their series Theory of Love. To this day, it's in my top 5, and since then, I've really wanted to see them act together in a new project. And I'm not the only one, hence their upcoming series, Not Me. But here's the thing. The rate of turnover in BL is fast, and you have to be continually evolving just to stay relevant. So my fear is that actors like Off and Gunn will be pigeonholed into playing the same roles over and over again. There are a lot of benefits to being one half of a popular ship, and if you're an OG, it's likely your diehard fans will stick with you. As a couple. That's where the problem lies. How do you grow as an actor when all you've ever known is being the love interest of this one person? And when you have branched out, those roles didn't receive much praise because the fan base supports the couple, not you and this other guy. I kept thinking about Singto while exploring this topic because you guys know I'm a huge fan and I believe in his talent. But seeing him receive so little recognition for his roles in He's Coming to Me and Friendzone simply for the fact that he wasn't paired with Chris was eye-opening. I think that we're setting these actors up to fail by not allowing them the flexibility to act with people outside their ship. That doesn't mean never acting with their old pairings. It just means supporting them in their decision to do either. Don't harass their new partner to the point where they drop out from a fan meeting. Don't boycott their new series in protest of them being paired with a rookie actor. We have to coexist if we want a steady flow of content. Aside from that, it must be tiring to act like a couple for years on end. I always get asked to talk about Tay and Nu's fight, but honestly, I don't know anything about it. And I don't care to look into it. When you're working beside somebody for that long, you're going to argue, and that's it. One last thing BL fans need to stop doing is measuring the quality of a series by saying it's too good to be BL. First of all, how dare you? Second of all, that mindset is not going to help the genre progress past harmful stereotypes and overused storylines. I notice people saying this the most with Game Boys and Like in the Movies. Here you have two shows that straddled that line between BL and LGBTQ+ media. But what does that mean? Let's really break it down. So when a series is described in this manner, it usually means it contains those classic BL elements, like the idealized love between two subjectively attractive guys, while also providing a more realistic, informative take on queerness. And that's good. There doesn't have to be a distinct boundary separating the two, because they don't cancel each other out. As an avid Game Boys fan and a queer Filipino, I can understand why this statement is gaining traction. Pinoy BL is a new and emerging subgenre, and some of my friends had no idea what BL was before discovering this series. Many of us are also part of the LGBTQ+ community, so we regularly consume gay media. But the reason why I don't think it's productive to say this series is too good to be a BL is because it's reducing the importance of the genre. BL helps people who live in conservative countries become more familiar with the LGBTQ+ community. That matters, and I don't think it should be downplayed just because one series has a less complex plot than another. Are there inaccurate and offensive representations of queerness in BL? Yeah. And the same can be said for LGBTQ+ media. I mean, have you seen Queer as Folk or the L Word? Boys Love is not shameful, less dignified, or bottom of the barrel. You don't need to put down stories written by women to uplift stories written by men. Forget sexuality. Are we not seeing the problem with saying that these two BLs written by men are too good to be BL? To be real, it's giving misogyny. Come on now. Both men and women are marginalized groups. So why are we debating semantics instead of working towards the common goal of representation? Just be proud that an indie BL from a small company has garnered worldwide acclaim for its portrayal of queer love. And we need everybody under the acronym of LGBTQ+ as a contributing voice, not just one letter. We reclaim together, not apart. And that's how we get rid of those negative depictions of our community in BL. Well, I feel better after getting all that off my chest. But what are your thoughts on the things I mentioned? Do you have your own list of things to share? Honestly, I love reading people's very passionate thoughts on BL, so don't hesitate to comment. Just be respectful of one another so we can coexist in peace. I can't promise what video I'll be uploading next because my brain is slowly absorbing all the recent BL news. So between that and the podcast, we'll see what comes to fruition. Thank you to the moon and back for watching. Thank you to my Discord for being so helpful. And I will talk to you guys when I can. Bye!